Welcome to video number 2. In yesterday's video, I asked you to consider strategy change, okay? Modifying your strategy. I'm not asking you to make this decision today, but you have to understand that your strategy that you currently have got you to where you are, okay? And the first thing about strategy is you have to determine what winning is, right? Where is it that you want to go? And ask yourself an honest question. Can my strategy get me there? And one of the questions I always ask when I talk to company owners is if they have an MBA, okay? Because I know for a fact that almost every MBA program talks about Michael Porter, who's the godfather of strategy. And Michael Porter has this thing called the 5 forces, all right? The 5 competitive forces that every company competes against for profit. Now let's talk about these 5 forces. In some industries, rivals are the premier competitor. In some, it's the negotiating power of buyers. In some, it's alternates. So as a marketing agency, for example, boy, oh boy, we get our butts kicked by all 5. Your business, your vertical, your industry might be different. That's okay. When we get on the phone and talk, we're going to walk you through which one of these 5 forces is taking your profit. And remember the formula from the last video. Profit equals price minus cost. Because as we go through each of these 5, you're going to ask yourself a very simple question. How do rivals cost me money? How do they cost me profits? Because they do. And there's a very real way that you can beat them. But if you don't have a strategy that beats these 5 forces, that's the reason why you're never going to go from 10 million to 15 million or 50 to 70, all right? Or whatever number it is that you've decided in your mind, okay? So at a bare minimum, you sat here through 2 videos, and what you know now is that you have been getting up every morning trying to grow your company's profits. And ask yourself an honest question. Did you know who you were competing against? Because if you can honestly answer that question, then you have to ask yourself the next question. For example, if you said, Tom, I don't know. I did not know. I might have known rivals. I might have known alternatives, but I didn't know the other 3. I wasn't thinking about it. Then you have to now go back to your strategy that got you to where you are and ask yourself, does my strategy beat these 5? Because here's the truth of your business, okay? Pay attention. This is the truth. I don't like to use the word secret. I like truths. You know why I like saying the word truth? Because the truth will never be outdated, okay? A truth is a truth. All the wonderful technology in the world has to work in concert, in alignment with time-tested, proven principles. People don't change, okay? These 5 forces, I don't care what kind of technology you're using, okay? Ours included. You're still going to compete against these 5. Every industry is different. So, for example, in automotive, they compete against other dealerships. They really don't have a lot of alternatives. The vast majority of the profits they lose to rivals. So as we go through this, remember the formula. Profits, your profits, is equal to price minus cost. How do rivals affect your profits? If a rivalry is intense, your company competes away those profits, okay, by passing it on to buyers in the form of lower prices. If profit equals price minus cost, lower prices means lower profits, okay? Or you're going to have to give away more value and therefore increasing your cost. So go back to the formula. Profits equal price minus cost. If costs go up, profits go down. So does your strategy effectively beat rivals? So let me tell you how we do it, okay? As an example, all right? Here's how we beat rivals. Number 1, first and foremost, we can track prospects on a daily basis in real time and we can identify those prospects that are actively pursuing a purchase of what you sell. All right, they're actively pursuing the outcome that you sell. All right, and we can find them first before a rival. And again, as I said in yesterday's video, if you're first, then you can frame the idea about what a solution should look like. You can control the perspective, you can define what value needs to be, and you can set the buying criteria. And then everything that comes after you has to come first. Now, in tomorrow's video, I'm going to tell you about the two things, okay? At the moment, the precise moment when a prospect is ready to say yes, you as a company, to be the person that receives that yes, has to have two things, okay? So in tomorrow's video, I'm going to show you how and what those two things are and how to get them. When you are first, you have the ability to control perspective. Number two, we provide the data in the form of ownership, the targeting in the form of ownership, right? If you own and control it, that means then you could start having conversations with prospects. We don't ever recommend ad campaigns, right? People don't buy from websites. People don't buy from companies. People buy from people. You have to think in terms of a relationship. You build that relationship before you sell. If you own and control the data, then you could target that person and have conversations with them on multiple platforms, okay? You can have conversations about multiple topics. You can have them as often as you want, right? You develop a relationship the same way as you do face-to-face. You start a conversation. If you own the data, then you'll be the first one to start a conversation. You'll have the most flexibility by being able to have those conversations anywhere you want, as often as you want, on as many topics as you want. You can help them in order to build the trust, because trust is at the heart of a relationship. If you're first, you don't have to start selling your company. As I said in the first video, what you want to do is help them with their problem first. Because once they realize the, lay of the land on their problem, then they're going to know what solution to choose. And if you're the person that's educating them about their problem, which you're an expert in because you built the solution to it, then you're going to be building trust naturally by helping them. Not saying, look how great I am, okay? Marketing is not about programs. It's about relationships, right? Marketing is a dialogue. Even though you're advertising to somebody, you're really having a conversation via your collateral or your landing page or your website. There's a mental conversation going on. You have a mental conversation going on with me right now. This is not me talking to you. This is not a monologue. This is a dialogue, okay? The goal of marketing for your company is not to make a claim about your company. Your goal of marketing is to foster a conclusion, to help them see what they don't see, help them understand what they don't understand so that they can make a smart buying decision. Now, how you're going to show how you stand up when they have to make that decision and make a smart buying decision, if you're the person that's built the trust and you're the person that's educating them, they're going to give you the sale. There's one other thing besides having a relationship when that person is ready to say yes, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, okay? But in order to beat rivals, it's simple. You have to start the conversation first. You have to develop a relationship. You have to build trust by helping them first, okay? Because prospects don't care about you. They care about their problem, right? There's only two things that are of interest to them. They have a problem that they no longer want, or there's a result that they want but do not have, right? And if you want to switch out result, there's a change that they want but do not have, or there's an experience they want but do not have. If you're the person that helps them with their problem or the result, you're helping them while not telling them about your company first and foremost, right? You're being customer-centric. You're helping first. At the end of the day, that's how you build trust, right? You've been listening to me now for 2 videos. I'm not saying you trust me fully, but obviously you're still here and you're still listening and hopefully learning and applying what I'm teaching you. and we're slowly developing a relationship. Okay? I'm not asking you to buy. I'm helping you fix your problem. Your problem are the 5 forces. If you want to grow profits, you have 5 forces that you lose profits to. This is how you beat rivals. Okay? Powerful suppliers. You compete against suppliers, right? How do you do it? Take Google and Facebook, right? If Google and Facebook charge higher prices or insist upon more favorable terms, they lower what? Your profits. Go back to the formula. Profits equals price minus cost. If they raise prices, your costs go up. If costs go up, profits go down. If they change terms, they increase cost, profits go down. Do you have a solution to a powerful supplier, specifically Google and Facebook? Now, before I tell you how we do it, let me be the first one to tell you, I am not anti-Google. I am not anti-Facebook. Okay? What I am is platform agnostic. Okay? You should use Google and Facebook. Okay? But you should have a solution and a strategy that offsets their power, that enables you to get what you want without having them control your profit. So, for example, when we have the targeting, right, and we own and control it, then it's portable. So, for example, if we're uploading it to Google, and when we do, we get phenomenal results, okay? Google and Facebook work on what's called a relevance engine. They don't work on a high bid. Has nothing to do with how much you bid, okay? Meaning they want to make sure that the ad that they show is relevant to the prospect. They don't care about you as an advertiser, because that person is going to come back multiple times if the ads are always relevant to them. They're going to come back and do keyword searches. They're going to come back to Facebook and spend time. And that means more opportunity for Facebook and Google to show them ads. So if you show ads to prospects and you don't get a high click-through rate, to Google and Facebook, they think the ad is irrelevant. And therefore, they're going to charge you more per click. If you upload targeting that's highly relevant, because we're only targeting people, the needles, not the haystack, people that are actively pursuing the outcome that you sell, right? They're actively shopping and researching a purchase of what you sell, then you're going to get a higher click-through rate. And Google and Facebook work on a relevance engine. They're going to give you a lower cost per click. And that lower cost per click, okay, is going to result in a lower acquisition cost. Now think about that formula again. Profit equals price minus cost. If you're the first one, you're building the value. So you're going to have a better chance of getting a premium price. And if you're not at the mercy of your supplier, then you're going to also be able to get a lower cost. Now, this video isn't about me. It isn't in tremendous detail about that's just one of the ways. There's multiple other ways in which we can help you beat powerful suppliers. That's just one. So if you want to schedule a quick exploratory call with us, you can, and we can go into tremendous detail. All right. The next one is powerful buyers. Right? A powerful buyer forces prices down or demands more value from you, thus capturing more of your profits. Right? If they ask for lower prices, right? Profits equals price minus cost. If price has to go down, profits go down. Right? You're not getting a premium price anymore. Your profits go down. If they ask for more value, your costs go up. Costs go up, profits go down. This is exactly why you're not making money. So how do you offset powerful buyers? Well, here's the first thing that we do. If we control who's in market, knowing who's in market, we don't have limited prospects to talk to. So our pipelines are full. You see, if you're only getting a handful of people, you're going to let them dictate terms. You're going to let them dictate price. That's the first thing. It's like playing poker and having a small amount of chips. You're afraid to say anything because you're afraid to lose what little you have. If you have a small amount of leads, you're going to basically kiss up to every single prospect because you're afraid they're going to walk. Prospects know this. That's why they're powerful buyers, right? The true phrase for this is not powerful buyers. We had limited space in the slide. It's the negotiating power of buyers, right? Same thing, powerful buyers. Their negotiating power goes away when they're one of thousands that you're communicating with. Number two, and probably just as important as the first one, when you're able to start the conversation while they're researching their problem and you're building a relationship and you're having a conversation and building trust, what happens to that prospect before they get on the phone with you in today, 2018, is tremendously important. Because at each step, the prospect makes a decision. Do I believe that you're capable and trustworthy to get me to my destination? And you see, this is the hardest thing for companies to understand. And this is something that you can implement today in your marketing collateral, your website, and your sales process. Companies don't care about you. They care about solving their problem. They care about the result that they're after. Their first destination, first and foremost, is to make a smart buying decision. Okay? It's human nature, right? Human nature demands, as a buyer, that you always want to make the best decision possible. Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, oh man, I hope I get screwed today financially, right? They wake up, people want to get something for their money. They want to make a smart purchase. That's why they research before they just buy, right? These are not simple purchases. We're not talking about the speed rack at the supermarket and buying a pack of gum. We're talking about a complex sale. We're talking about things that have ramifications. So they have to take their time. Now, in that window of your sales cycle, there's the beginning, the middle, and the end. You have to meet them first and foremost where they are, and that is in the research stage. That is in the research stage of their problem. It's very important if you can understand where they are, because that dictates how you communicate to them. If I were to meet a woman in a bar and I walked up to her and I said, would you marry me? And I could be the greatest guy in the world, the best looking guy, and I'm both of those things. She's still going to say no. Why? Because she doesn't know me. She doesn't know if she can trust me. She doesn't know if I have any value, any redeeming qualities. I don't know squat about her. So there's no way that she can make a decision like that. I have to meet her where she is. And where she is I'd like to meet a nice person, and let's take it from there. That's where they are. And where they want to go is they want to be with someone who's a good person, right? They want to maybe be in a relationship with someone who's loving and caring and can help fulfill, be fulfilling, right? Whatever a good relationship is, everybody has their own definition of that. Those would be my three, all right? For you as a business, you have to meet them where they are. And where they are in the beginning is they want to make a smart buying decision. They want to make a smart buying decision about their problem. So for them, they want to research this. They want to get an idea. The same way you're on a video for this many minutes because you want to make a smart buying decision. You want to get a result that you don't have. That's why you're listening to me right now. Okay? Threat of entry. I'm sure that there are plenty of companies that are getting into your business every day. And new companies mean new rivals. New companies mean new alternatives. Okay? What is the entry barrier to protect your industry from newcomers? Because they add new capacity, right? They offer extra products that compete against yours. All right? And more companies sprout up every day. And the same thing with substitutes. Now, I can tell you in the marketing field, there's tons of alternatives. Tons, right? You don't have to just hire me. There's all sorts of things you could potentially do. Now, obviously, we think there's an advantage to us over all these other things, but it goes back to what I was just saying. If we're not communicating to you the value of what we do, then how can you measure us against an alternative? I'm sure in your industry, right, in your vertical, there are products and services that meet the same basic need as your company provides. And what those companies do is they rob your profits. Okay? When you're communicating, with prospects. You have to be able to help them. And at the same time, demonstrate how your value proposition stacks up against. One of the biggest problems I see from companies is that they do not know how to identify their value proposition. Okay? And they do not know how to express an effective value proposition. And the value proposition you offer answers the question, if I'm your ideal prospect, why should I buy from you? The center of appeal is want. So tell me why somebody should buy from you, okay? And it has to be something that they want. Now, if we know that they're looking to solve a problem, or if they know that they're looking to get a result, you can't say something like, we care about our clients. Yes, that's appealing, but that's not something they want. If my hair is on fire and you do a good job of getting there on time, but not very good at actually putting the hair out, well, does it really matter that you're expeditious in arrival? That's not something I want in a high interest way. It's valuable, but it's certainly not going to deliver the solution to my problem or produce the result I want but do not have. Okay? So if I were to sit down with you, and this is a conversation we could have when we get on the phone, is that I'm going to show you how to identify your value proposition, okay? And I'm also going to ask you questions about level of exclusivity. The greater the appeal, the greater the want, meaning the more they want it, right? They want it in a high interest way, and the greater the exclusivity, they can only get it from you, that overlap is a powerful only factor, right? So you sell your only factors as a way to answer the question, if I am your ideal prospect, why should I buy from you? So as an example, I just told you that if you called me, when we get on the phone, I'm more than happy to help you, show you how to identify an effective value proposition for your company. And then I'm going to show you how to express it, because there's very simple things you can do. I'm going to give you two right now, okay? You may match a competitor on every dimension of value except one. Okay? And in that one, you need to excel. All right? I ask this question every time I get on the phone with companies. When does marketing start? When does marketing start? Not what is marketing. When does marketing start? Because marketing starts before you create the product. Meaning you built that specifically for somebody. You built that product for somebody for a particular problem that they have, or a result that you know you can deliver. So when you look at things that you offer, okay, for appeal, for example, is it relevant? Is it important? Is it urgent? And then from explanation, clarity. If you have an authentic value proposition, okay, an authentic value proposition, then clarity trumps persuasion. You do not have to persuade people. You have to educate people. You have to communicate with people. You have to help them see it and understand it before they could even consider buying it. All right? A lot of times I'll ask a business owner or a manager to go ahead and shop your own company. Call up and pretend you're somebody else and ask them, simple question. If I'm your best client, if I fit the ideal profile of who your client is, tell me, why should I buy from you rather than a competitor? And then ask 3 or 4 people in your company. Look at your website. Look at your marketing collateral. It's different every single time. Here's the thing. Every company, every prospect has a motivation. It's the single greatest factor in somebody saying yes. Okay? Think of motivation as an outcome, right? The problem, solution to the problem. The solution that delivers the result that they don't have, okay? There's an outcome. You got on these videos because you wanted to be more profitable. But ultimately, that's not why you got on these videos. Now that you've seen 2 videos, you now know that your problem isn't being more profitable. It's how do I beat the 5 forces to be more profitable? And the answer is, I need a better strategy that directly attacks the 5 forces. In the next video, I'm going to tell you where all sales start. In 2018, The sale starts long before they pick up the phone and get on the phone with you. Okay? The sale starts way before, and you need to meet them there. And I'm going to show you where there is.